I sculpted this gigantic miniature sculpture for 1300 hours. What am I doing? Hi, Petri here. I spent 1300 hours in order to make this 2.1 meters tall, that's 7 feet or something, so on, plasticine sculpture with countless miniatures, figurines, landscapes and buildings. And it is called Ouroboros, the Unwritten. This one is interactive art piece, more like an escape room. My friend Sonia, who is a game developer, had this idea about a puzzle game that would also be a sculpture. Maybe the first one in the world. It would take its form based on gamers' tellings of their own gaming experiences, and we would combine their tellings into a massive miniature interactive puzzle art. Let's just call it playable art. This is a topic that needs a separate video. But before we get deeper into it, let's look at the material first. Plasticine is essentially a pigmented colored wax. It has many benefits, but also quite a few downsides. First of all, you can work with it anywhere. It does not require factory or proper workspace. It is not toxic or harmful to your health. Does not limit your working time since it will not dry. Does not require painting in order to make colorful miniature sculptures. Easy to fix, if damaged. The downsides, on the other hand, are cannot be hardened in any way. Requires a lot of support structures. Extremely weak against heat. Direct sunlight will melt it, and it will be permanently gone. Expensive compared to clay, for example. Now, let's look how I made the darn thing. First, I just started making these tiny figurines, and also some floral forms, plants, flowers, not any real kind of flowers, just what I had in mind. And also some architectural Gothic forms. I use urethane foam as a base structure because it's easy to cut and quite strong to carry heavy loads of plasticine. At this point I just knew I would make some sort of miniature landscape with shifting perspectives and a weird scale, but I had no idea which would be the real composition. Still, I knew I would need characters, plants and buildings, anything at all. When we chatted about what we were going to do next, Sonia told me one of needed landscapes would be a spaceship. Well, that made things interesting right at the bat. It also presented us entirely new problem. If the player would see the solutions to problems all the time, they cannot see them all at once, or it will get confusing. So, we needed a structure that hides all the other solutions while focusing on one puzzle. Therefore, I started thinking about a cross pattern, and then a stylized pyramid, and finally I ended up making this sketch for the base structure. A tower with each facade being present only one at a time. Now, this is the phase where we forget the miniature and go massive. Most of the game should be on eye level, or at least a table level. I did not want it to stand on table since I hate how it looks. Instead, I wanted the sculptor to stand on the ground and still tower over everyone. I knew that my own game of choice would be Dark Souls, so I started from that. Also, I knew the universe of phasmophobia would be present, so darkness would not hurt. Where would all the plants go? Which facade would get the girls? Dungeons and Dragons Feywild. The magical world of fairies and insanity filled with cakes, cream D&D dice and palaces. Where do I fit them?
There is not space.
I'm gonna need a bigger platform for all of this. This will be the prime gaming area. But another variable has entered the equation. My wife was really concerned that Ouroboros would not fit into our home. So she rented us this warehouse where I could finish this majestic tower of Ouroboros. One facade would be The Last of Us, a post apocalyptic landscape with fossils and nature taking over human buildings. The last missing component is the spire on top of everything. And there it finally is. Ouroboros, the Unwritten.
Moving this thing is a pain in the rear. I mean, every time I move it, something breaks and I have to remake it. Like every single time. But life is full of choices. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you like and hit that sub for more. I will catch you in the next